Starting out might seem daunting, but don't worry. We are here to provide you with practical tips and insights to make the journey of your first year smoother. In this video, we'll not only go through earning and saving money, but also which crafts and buildings you can prioritize in your first year. Whether you want to just relax and cozy up, play the game within spans of generations as intended, or you want to speedrun the game, then these tips are applicable to you. So grab your snacks and get comfy. First up is earning money. Sell your wood. It's already common knowledge that you can sell your wood, but a lot just dismiss it because it's a pretty valuable resource that's required for quests, crafting, and building. And I get it. The hoarder in you wants to hoard these, especially since it's one of the resources that has no decay. But bear with me. You see, wood is already available at the start and will still be available in every season, including winter. Shaking those trees will not reduce your tool's durability as well, so less cost and time for repairs. And let's calculate for a moment. Each piece of wood will sell for 10 coins. If you just go around the forest from your farm, you'll get about 30. That's already 300 coins. And that's not including the trees on the left side of the island. If you continue this in just a week, then you'll get at least 2,100 coins. That's enough coins for you to shop at the ships that dock every weekend. Then let's say on day 1, you use the 20 wood for the blacksmith quest that leaves you 10 for 100 coins, which is enough to buy a fishing rod on the first day. Or maybe on the second day since you might still need to look for the fisher NPC. Fishing is one of the skills in the game. Leveling up the fishing skill will net you recipes, pun intended, and higher quality catches. While it's also a decent moneymaker at the start, repairing cheap fishing rods can be quite a hassle. Luckily, there's a way for us to get a really good rod 2 weeks in the game. How do we get it? By winning in the fishing contest. Get at least 500 points and the rainbow fishing rod is yours for the taking. I'm not exactly sure how you see the points during the actual festival, but what I did was fish the whole time from the start of the festival until the end. I made sure my fishing rod was fully repaired before the festival, but in case you used the cheapest fishing rod and it broke during the event, you can always buy a new one from the fisher or the mayor, during this festival only. And once you have the rainbow fishing rod, you can fish to your heart's content. Fish prices range from about 5 to 200 coins depending on season. And you can always dry or preserve the cheap ones for a boost in selling price. We've mentioned earlier the quality of fish you catch, and we all know that quality goes with most items in the game. Meals, foraged items, harvests, animal products, artisan goods, and the like. The difference between bronze, silver, and gold quality is the selling price and the decay time. The higher the quality, the higher the selling price and longer decay times. That said, everything else is the same. The amount of hunger replenished by meals remains the same, the number of materials needed for artisan products remains the same, and the number of artisan products crafted remains the same. So unless you need it for an immediate quest or for consumption, there's no point in holding onto it until it rots. Just sell them. Sell the highest quality first in case you're not sure if you need that item or not. And with those 3 tips alone, you could already save up for a steel pickaxe. What's the pickaxe for, you say? It's to unlock the 3rd mining node in the local mine. Unfortunately, the steel pickaxe is pretty rare to come by in the blacksmith stock. So when it does appear, make sure you have enough coins. And the ships sometimes sell it too, so you can check there as well. So why is the 3rd mining node important? This is where you get valuable gems and higher chances of gold ore. The gems sell for about 100 to 300 coins, so they are pretty valuable since you can get multiples of them in just a few hits. As for the gold ore, you can smelt them using a smelter and craft gold bars which can sell for 350 coins. What I usually do is time my sleeping habits and I go to the caves at around 10 PM to mine and wait there for the midnight reset of the 3 nodes to mine again. This saves me time in going back and forth to the caves. One other item worth mentioning for quote-unquote easy money, easy meaning the operative word here because if you're already at this stage of the game, chances are it's already easy. So presenting the instant cash potion. It's already in the name. Once you've unlocked crafting potions, you have a chance to get a quest that rewards you with a recipe for the instant cash potion. You will need 30 mana, 1 gold ore, and 10 leaves. Yes, this is what leaves are for, at least one use of it. Once you use the potion, you'll earn 500 coins instantly. And you can create multiple of these. But is it worth it? For me, just to remove the leaves from my inventory, yes. But ultimately, it'll depend on your playstyle to justify when there are enough coins. Let's now move on to socializing, or what I call saving money. One of the benefits of increasing your social skill is learning the haggler ability. This will reduce the cost of everything. except for the building services and inoculation. Even the expensive cost prices from the ships will be reduced. So keep talking to people. Remember that you can talk to them twice per day. A quick tip is to ambush them at weddings, funerals, festivals, and on weekdays at school for students. Another benefit is receiving gifts. Come up to a villager with a question mark hanging over their head and they will either open up a quest with you or they will give you gifts. I usually hope for the latter. They could also send you gifts via mail, which is my favorite, since the timer for decay will not start until you receive the item. So befriend the innkeepers for meals, carpenters for furniture, doctors for medicine, blacksmiths for tools, steel tools if you're lucky, and children for gold ore. Yes, you heard that right, children can give gold ores. And for a time I've been receiving gold ores for a while. It might just be by chance that their hobbies were spelunking. I'm not exactly sure, but they can do that. Next up is building and crafting. At the start of the game, I would recommend crafting another drying rack and a preservative jar, and keeping them stocked. I've mentioned earlier in fishing that you use lower quality fish to craft an artisan good since the result will always be just that one type. Let me explain. Regardless of the ingredient you placed, you will always get the same type of artisan good. For example, you placed a blackberry in a drying rack and a cherry in a separate one. Both of them will result in dried fruits, which will sell for the same price if they have the same quality. Unfortunately, the profit you gain from each is different since the selling price of a blackberry is 1 coin, while a cherry is 11 coins. So let's say dried fruit sells for 15 coins, the blackberry has 14 coins profit, while the cherry only has 4. So why am I mentioning this now, especially since in the earning money section we were already counting up to hundreds? Well, this is a semi-passive income, something we all want in real life. Just leave a forged item there for a day and sell for profit. Gradually build more if you can, as the items are something you can stock up on since they decay slower. You can leave it up to the last day to decide whether to sell or to consume. A lot of the crafting furniture, for lack of a better term, aren't available right away, and learning blueprints and recipes aren't fixed. So do prioritize receiving and completing quests that have blueprints and recipes as rewards. If you think that you are unable to craft, forage, or harvest the required items by yourself, consider buying the items from the NPCs. One critical blueprint that I always keep an eye on is the icebox. There's a small and a large version, and what it does is it stops the decay of the items inside the box. Similar to the lantern that needs lantern oil to function, the icebox needs ice. And you can get a maximum of 2 pieces of ice per day for free in the ice house. You need to have the ice in your inventory and click on the ice icon in the icebox. Once the ice fully melts, then the decay of the items will resume. A good tip is to place ice in one of the slots in the icebox, so when you need to refill it, you can just get it right from there. You can use the icebox for a lot of things. I like to use it to keep out-of-season harvests, mainly because I enjoy cooking. But unfortunately, the recipes I receive or learn are sometimes, most of the times, not in season. That is why animal products are good ingredients for cooking since they don't have specific seasons, and ranch animals will still provide eggs and milk even in winter. So which building are we going to prioritize to build first? A barn or a coop? Or should we actually start with a house upgrade? Honestly, it depends on your playstyle. But let's lay the cards down for each. For a coop, the materials are easier to acquire than the barn and the house upgrade. But you'll only acquire eggs, and I guess some meat if you butcher. In comparison with the milk that you can turn into different artisan goods, I would opt for the barn between these two, especially since you might have another use for it for a storyline perspective. As for the house upgrade, well, you can start a family even in your starter home, so the main reason for getting this is for the expanded space. If you find the starting home a little too cramped because of all the indoor crafting mechanisms for all your artisan goods, or if you actually want to design your home with all the furniture you've been receiving from the carpenters, then the house upgrade might be for you. To add, the house upgrade comes with a cellar. The cellar has 8 slots and works like an icebox where you can place items and pause the decay with no ice needed. So if you're having trouble with the icebox blueprint, you can consider doing it this way, just a lot more materials needed and a bit more expensive with a cash requirement. Regardless of which building you choose first, remember to ensure that the entire area you want to place your coop, barn, or house is clear before you visit the carpenters. One tip though for your harvestables is to not harvest right away. This will not only save on inventory space, but also the decay of that crop will not start until you harvest it. And while you don't need to water fully grown crops, your farmhand unfortunately will, so keep this consideration in mind. Then we have battling diseases. Diseases just crop up with no warning, so when you do have some coins saved up, inoculate. This is a vaccine for smallpox disease in the game, and unfortunately there is no cure. Don't worry, it's not a confirmed death. You could actually still get better, but that's just one disease. It is recommended you get one of each medicine from the doctor. Since the stocks rotate, visit them from time to time to complete the set. You can also buy medicine from the ship in case you need a specific medicine that's not currently available at the doctors. Befriending the doctors is also a good way to receive random medicine. I myself prefer just one cure-all medicine, or more specifically a potion. It saves not only your inventory slot, but also a whole lot of money. Introducing Dissolve Disease Potion, a potion that cures any disease or poison that you are currently inflicted with. To make this, you would need the recipe from a quest and 50 mana, 2 elderberries, and 1 moonlight water. You can get elderberries during summer and from various shops, doctor, hunter, lighthouse keeper, and those with foraging as a hobby, while the witch sells moonlight water from time to time. A bit easier than tracking down all those types of medicines, don't you think? If you've been foraging wood, then potion crafting is actually pretty easy to unlock. Once you've triggered the quest on the first week, you can hunt down the witch anytime she's out of her house, so you don't actually need to wait for the next Saturday. But in case you've been inflicted with a disease and you're still hunting down the specific medicine or ingredients you need, there's one thing you can do to minimize transmitting the disease to other villagers. This is actually a feature in the game, this being soap. You can craft it yourself or buy it from the lighthouse keeper. Once you use it, you'll see this icon right here. Now your family, and the villagers I guess, won't be inflicted from your disease. Did I mention it goes both ways? Not only won't you be transmitting your disease, but it will also protect you from catching any from an NPC, so no more skipping shopping day. Some of these may be pretty obvious, but needed to be said for extra measure, and I stand by them. They're pretty useful, especially in my succeeding playthroughs unlike my first, so I hope it helps you as well. If you haven't seen it already, we have a video that talks about at least 35 things that we wish we knew in our first playthrough that could help you out in a pickle. We'll be discussing the personalization of your gameplay, quick tips on accomplishing early quests, and specific things you need to know about each gameplay mechanic from foraging, cooking, trading, farming, and socializing. So see you there and stay awesome!